Most players lose to 70 before they even understand why.
And honestly, it's not because they're bad. It's because they're making the same mistakes over and over again.
Without even realizing. That's exactly why I created TwoSeventy Academy.
I want to help you actually understand what's going on, so you're not just guessing every turn. So instead of just explaining the game, I'm going to give you a system you can actually use every single turn. I call it IPODS. IPOD stands for income, position, offense, defense, and stage. If you run through those 5 things every turn, you'll stop guessing and start making real decisions. Let's go through this the way you would actually use it in a game. Starting with income. Income is what gives you options. Every player gets a base of $250,000 per turn. No matter what, that part never changes. But what does change is how much total money is actually in play. Because income isn't just about what you have. It's about what both players can actually do on a given turn. Here are 2 main ways to increase your income. First, national groups. If you're leading a national group and reach at least the 3rd rung, you start earning bonus income every turn. That money is completely flexible. You can use it anywhere on the map. And this is usually strongest early in the game. Because the earlier you invest, the more turns you benefit from it. Second, state groups. These also increase your income, but the money is restricted. You can only use it within that group of states. That might sound limiting, but it actually creates efficiency. It allows you to defend your position and expand within the same region without using your flexible cash. Now here's where most players fall behind. Players are not required to spend all of their money each turn. So if you're not actively tracking income, you don't actually know what your opponent is capable of doing. This becomes even more important when you factor in state costs. Texas and California cost $200,000 per rung. New York is $150,000. Florida is $100,000. But there's another layer that matters even more. When you're in a game, you can see how much total money your opponent has. But that number is not fully accurate, because it combines both flexible cash and restricted bonus money. Restricted money can only be used in specific places. So even if a player shows $450,000, that does not mean they can spend that anywhere. For example, if $100,000 is tied to a bonus like high tech, that money is restricted. So now they only have $350,000 of flexible money. And that changes everything. Because in a state like Texas, which costs $200,000 per rung, they cannot double invest. Good players break this down in real time. They ask, what can they actually spend right now? Because income doesn't just give you options. It defines what's possible. Next is position. This is where most games are quietly decided. Position is about where you are.
And where
You have to earn access to states. If your opponent has already been there for a few turns, they could already be ahead of you. Early in the game, you're not trying to lock states. You're trying to get into them.
you're buying access.
From there, you're building options. You're creating multiple pathways. You're putting pressure on your opponent, and you're giving yourself flexibility. Because the more pathways you have, the harder you are to stop. Position also depends on how you choose to play. Some players are comfortable playing from behind. They build cash and wait for mistakes. Others prefer to be ahead. They secure key states and control the game. Neither approach is automatically right or wrong. What matters is that you understand your position as the game moves toward a ballot. Position becomes even more important.
Because you can't win states you're not in.
You can also click on your opponent's avatar to see exactly where they are positioned. This is especially helpful in fast games. So before you think about attacking or defending, ask yourself, Am I in the right places? Do I have options? Because position decides what's possible next.
Next is offense. Offense is progress.
This is where you take your income and move closer to winning. Offense always carries risk. If you attack something your opponent has, they can block you, and your money can be wasted. Good offense isn't aggressive. It's selective. You should think about cost, electoral value, group connections, and how it affects your income. Sometimes it's better to attack one big state. Other times, several smaller ones. The goal is not just spending money. The goal is progress. Next is defense. And just like in sports, defense wins championships. In this game, defense can win you the White House. Instead of asking, what can I gain? Ask, what do I lose if I don't defend this? Defense is about choosing what matters. Sometimes it's a single pip. Other times, you lock the state. Locking guarantees control. But over-defending can drain your money. Early game. Protect your position. Late game. Protect your electoral votes. Defense is not about protecting everything. It's about protecting what wins. And the final piece is stage. This ties everything together. The game moves through stages. Early game, mid game, end game. And within that, you have ballot rounds. In a 1 versus 1 game, a ballot ends the game. In multiplayer, if no one reaches to 70 electoral votes, the lowest player is eliminated, and everything they own disappears. The map completely changes. Sometimes another ballot happens right away. Other times, the game resets back into a mid-game state. Good players anticipate this. They ask, what happens next? Because stage tells you how to play. So as you start playing, don't focus on winning right away. Focus on understanding. Run through IPODS. Income, position, offense, defense, stage. Because once the game starts to make sense, everything changes. If you're serious about getting better, TwoSeventy Academy is where you do it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Drop a like if this helped. It really supports the video. And let me know in the comments which part of iPod stood out the most. This is TwoSeventy Academy. Let's get to work.
Like and subscribe.